How you doing, everybody? Man, um, got a whole lot to talk about today. Let me say hi to everyone. Hi, Stefan and Clyde and Bruce and Geezer. Mark. Hi, Mark. Oh no, Mark. I'm sorry. Hey, Val. Let's see what do we got. All right. Um, Williams watches. Howdy, howdy. And Franisek, how are you, man? Haven't good to see you. Okay, couple things. All right. I don't know. A while back, I started reading Robinson Crusoe. Everybody's heard of it, nobody's read it, so I thought, well, I'll give it a read. And so I had a bunch of other books I was reading, and so I sort of put it away. And I'd finished up all those other books, and so this is it. So I'll start reading it again. Well, this is the perfect book, it turns out, for being isolated because it's about a guy who was isolated on an island. But one of the things that he said that I thought was really interesting was that everything he made, he had to make with a few basic tools that he had from the ship that sunk and that he survived on. He had a few of those tools. And he was talking about making a board and everything that he had to do, and it took him several days to make the board. And I was thinking, this is a similar thing to what we've been talking about. We've been talking about um, craftsmanship, and that's one of the things. It simply takes time. I mean, it's not one of those things that you got 10 cases piled up and the boss says, okay, I want those all engraved by 3 o'clock. Well, you might be able to do it, but it wouldn't have the same quality. Whereas this guy does, he's got nothing but time. So I thought it was sort of an interesting kind of thing. Hi, Mark J and Mr. Gumby and Rohit. How you guys doing? Thanks, Mark. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. I had there are a lot of books that we all know that we've never read, and that's one of them. Hi, Eddie. Um, Javier, how are you doing? All right. So that was one thing I was just thinking about. It's sort of like eh, you know. Okay, here's another thing. Somebody who probably knows what they're talking about. It's hard to tell. Let me see if I got my other one over here. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay. This was our first effort, and someone pointed out that there are a lot of different styles. The Breguet hands don't exactly go with the font set. The case doesn't go with either one. And well, maybe the case would go with the Breguet hands if we had the right dial for it. The other thing is I thought, well, let's see what this the Metropolis might look like with things going together. And so I found a dial with sort of these sharp pointing up edges, and I think they're called Dauphine hands, and they seem to go better. I mean, if you look at these two together, um, the one on the right, this one, has the parts that they go together better. Now, um, but I was looking at this one and I'm thinking, okay, well, what I would rather do is keep the case and the Breguet hands and rethink the fonts that we're using. And that leads to something else that I was looking at a Kerry Voutilanen watch, and the case was the same as the case was is the same as this one. And I thought, well, the last thing we want to do is have a watch that looks like one of Kerry Voutilanen's because we're not trying to, you know, copy anything. We want to come up with something unique. So those are some of the dilemmas that I was dealing with. Hi, Crappy. Hey, okay. So now, to make things even more interesting, I got an email from Nicholas Vitarek, who is Jean-Marc Vitarek's son, and they're in other words from Agenor. So, if you remember, I had asked about this movement right here. I had asked if they had done more than just uh, the retrograde, and he said, "Yeah, that was their movement. He did the whole movement." And but then something else came up, and that was somebody had said, "Well, maybe one of you guys did, or either on this group or the morning group said, well, what about Agenor?" And I said, "No way." Well, I was wrong, apparently. So I asked him. I thought, well, what the heck, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, you have any leftovers or something that a bunch of guys who are spending the quarantine, thinking of putting a watch together, but doing it with a really good movement?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, what do you need?" I said, "Whoa, oh boy." And so now we have another option. The thing that he asked me, he said, "Well, how many people are we talking about?" And this becomes difficult because I don't know. I was talking about a simple three-hand watch with a center second, possibly a small second. What I want to do is find something that they can do by some kind of modification, because this would be a modified movement for us, which would be like, whoa. But he said, "I can't, you're not going to be selling these, like a little watch company." And I said, "No way. We're just, this is something we wanted to keep for ourselves and then put it together. Possibly we might have different dials in different cases and so forth, but for a three hand." Okay. So now the way this happened, he said, "Do you have a telephone number?" So I sent him my cell number. And the next, 5 minutes later, the thing rang and we had a real good talk. So I was wow, this might be really cool. So anyway, that's where I wonder what the manufacturers render watch styles with a dozen different hand setups. It'd be great. It'd be great to see. Yeah. Okay. All right. What did Howdy say? Howdy from Texas. All right. Jorn hands. Blue brigade hands. Bingo. French jokes. Difficult. Okay. Uh, I'm heat treating my hands with a Bic lighter. So okay, Forbin, Mark. Okay, alcohol. What do you guys want to do? Do you want me to pursue this or tell them that you guys aren't interested? Because I think I might be able to get us very few, and then that way have a really cool movement. I still haven't heard back. Hi, Blake. I still haven't heard back from uh, Lang and Hine about some questions I had, and so I'm not going to worry about that. What would the price be? I don't know. See, Eddie, that's the problem. Is that he didn't know either. I mean, he said the price would depend on the number of people. Now, if you look at the stuff that Lang and Heim had, they don't give you much of a break at all. So I hope it's not that. But what he said, well, we'll put something together. These guys have talent, this amazing amount of talent. Because I was going to say, well, hey, maybe something fell off the workbench, and we, we don't mind if it's dented a little. It's just, what do you have? So yeah, you'd like to know more. So would I. But how do we ask? What do we say to go ahead? He said, "Well, okay, how many people are seriously interested in this? I mean, who would go ahead with it? Because I can't say, okay, well, all right, we decide we want six, and out of that six, two people say, all right, they're going to do it. And I don't know. Yeah, see, Mark, this is the thing about leftover retrogrades or leftover anything. This is where it gets real tricky, because some company worked with Agonor for a while to get something in there. And since they make exclusive movements, uh, they couldn't give us something that was exactly the same. And so, if we advertised or somebody advertised, oh, I got this has got a Agonor movement XYZ, and the people who buy them in by the carload, so to speak, like Van Cleef and Arpels, saying, "Wait a minute, this you gave someone else that to use." That was see, they they have a great deal of integrity, and if we hope to get one of their movements, we're going to have to have the same level of integrity, and that's what would be sort of difficult. I prefer to text back and forth for a lot of reasons. Once you got it in writing, it's always helpful, and there's no misunderstanding. And so I think I might do that, but um, let me get an idea. I mean, of people who would be seriously interested in this, I don't know what they're going to cost. Why don't we put and I don't want to mention price either. Nobody mentioned price. The reason for that, they might give us a better deal. I say, well, what do you want for it? And it's, something that is very affordable for us, I think would be great. I don't know what their stock is, what they have in mind, or anything else. Um, Okay. All right. So let's see. So you guys, so tell me what you want me to do next. Hi, Shot in the Dark. How you doing? Um, why do we talk about regulator now? I don't, a regulator is, I don't think so, Val, and I'll tell you why. Remember on a regulator, you've got three different dials. 3 different dials, all right? And so they would have to any changes, let's say they have one with center seconds, or they have something with small seconds that we could get for they could just do a minor modification and make it available to us. And so what I'm hoping it but if you ask for I got the light on this thing is hard. Um, if you ask for a regulator, look at that. You've got one, two, three different pivots for the different dials, and so that would be like we want something that is as close to falling off the workbench, or that they can do a minor revision on that we could get inexpensively, but then have an Agenhor movement. My God, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, the thing is, the only one I have is sort of a piece that goes on, that's a minor part of a watch. But having a watch like that with a movement, the entire movement will be one of theirs, not just a some part of it. And so, if just a simple three-hand watch is what I told them. 40 millimeters case is what we wanted to put it in. So that's what I'm talking about. Nothing fancy, nothing, nothing. It couldn't be something that was somebody else's. Somebody said, "Oh, we have a bunch of them. Here you go, and we're going to sell them for $20,000 a piece." Oh, by the way, a bunch of yahoos from 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 the internet came and said, "Hey, you got any for us?" So anyway, um, thanks, Shot. Toric Hemisphere Parmigiani. Oh yeah, those are beautiful, Blake. That's something that they did too. Well, Mark J, the minimum accessible, he was talking one or two, but then he said very quickly, but that would be very expensive. And I thought, no, 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 we got to have more than that. So I said, maybe 6 to 8. How does that sound? And that sounded a little better. Um, Rohit, small seconds would be cool. Okay. Now, forget retrograde for now, okay? The reason for that is that nothing wrong with retrograde. It's just not a complication that we could get that might add to the price. Carefully. Mark, the corner looms. All right. Just a three-hand watch. All right. Just a three-hand watch. No retrograde, no nothing. If you want me to ask about retrograde, I will, because I really like them, but it's like, okay, you're just sort of jacking things up and making it more complex, which makes it going to make it more expensive. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Steel case with a strap or bracelet. Don't worry about the case now, Blake. Okay. Do you know the size of the movement? We haven't decided on one. This is one of the things. What I wanted to do is get back to him and say, look, I got X number of guys who would commit to it, and usually when that happens, though, you got to mention a price, I suppose. I could put it this way: I got X number of guys who would commit to it if it wasn't too expensive. How does that sound? Just my egocentric viewpoint. Um, Nothing wrong with an egocentric viewpoint, but if we hope to get these things, I think we. I told Mark, listen, Mark, for a 40 millimeter case, okay, for what does that mean, Mark? For a 40 millimeter case. Well, it can be a lot of different sizes that'll fit in there. So I mean, like, oh yeah, we had a first conversation. How wide is it going to be? I don't know. This I don't. It's like if we don't have people who are say, hey, this is something I'd like to do. We don't have to worry about it. Fahrenheit Boucher Buddha watches. Okay. Can I change my name? I don't want to end up in a corner by mistake. Jesus. God, I'm turning into a curmudgeons. Uh, I have X number of guys who are all war heroes and want to wear something besides their fleegers. Um, okay, so, all right. Let me put it to you this way. Um, as oral box, yeah. Mark, no talking from the corner, Mark. Okay. Yeah, well, how big is it gonna be? Um, we don't know. We don't know. All right. How's that? Yes, I will accept S&H screen stamp. Well, listen, you guys, I mean, if you're seriously interested in this, let me know because I can pursue it or not. I can tell them, well, really didn't have a lot of interest in it. So, hi, GMT Master. Thanks, Geezer. I don't know if I got his answer was, well, it was just sort of a we wanted to go through a change. I don't know if that was exactly right or not. Mark, you're not in the corner. I'm just giving you a hard time. It just, the thing is that all along, what we wanted to do is this is my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, was to get a really high quality movement, the highest quality we could lay our hands on, and but have it a simple watch. If I'm mistaken, I'm mistaken. Yeah, 4, but that's sort of my thinking too. They have certain standard sizes, but the thing of it is, this is what's different about dealing with Agenor. Is that they'll I all I said to was something that uh, 1 second. Hi, I'm gonna have to call you back, okay? Uh, all right, bye bye. Sorry about that. That was a call that I was actually waiting for, so I could tell him I'm busy. Okay, Geezer. Let's see. Tippy, Markin, Forbin. That's right. Hey Hans, how you doing? Bill's watches. I don't know. Getting one company to say yes is the hardest part. It's Jackie Droz calling. um, GMT Master. Hi, Truth Fears. How you doing? Yeah. No, hey, howdy from Texas. Oh, I just got the new one. The other one was up on the wall, and I turned a crank to make a call. Oh boy. Hi, Sean, Blake. Okay, maybe I could do this. I could have a minimal number. I'll say five. Let's say I'll say I got five guys, and then I get one, and then four people. I could say, okay, I'll just have to find four people. And if I have a hard time finding four people, well, that's my loss. Um, High level 11 and Tippy Cafu. Um, how does that sound? What about would five be? Does that sound reasonable? Do you think there are people here? You think there are five people? Let me do this. This is what we've done in the past. If it's something that you would seriously want to do, just type in one. If it's something that I ought to forget, just don't say anything. Or yeah, that's it. Just if you want one, just type a one and I'll either pursue it or not. Okay, so that's one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so that's at least five, seven, eight. Yeah, we're good, Mark. You can put a one or nothing up. Okay. The okay. All right. Well, why don't I do this? And I'll say five because a lot of you guys may change your mind. And if we can do the first five, um, oh, wait a minute. I heard a lot more on five. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11. Okay, so that's 11 people. Um, yeah, I know, Eddie. It's okay. All right. Well, I'll put eight then. Okay. Um, if I put eight, and then some people um, felt uneasy about it, we could always maybe up it a little. But if we had a couple extra, that wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't mind having a couple extra of those watches. Okay, we don't know the cost yet. Okay, Mark, that's a good point. We don't know the price yet. Now, what I'm hoping is that this will be a minor thing to them, and you know, uh, he and I have been communicating for years now, and I'm hoping that they, well, those poor guys, we'll give them a break. You know, I don't know. Um, and what I'll do is that I'll follow up with a an email and a text. I'll try a text first. Yeah, 8 including me, level 11, yeah. And then, if some guys, decide later on, they really, it's not gonna be there, cost a little more than we expect. So what I'll do is, I'll I'll contact, Nicholas and say, "Okay, this is what we've got." And, even though we have more than that, so that we're not gonna end up, or somebody is not gonna end up, holding the bag for more than, any of us can afford. We'd have to work out some other things too. If this man, for those who are in Europe, they could just have them sent to Europe. Um, and then for the US, I could handle those sent to the US and, then send them out. And well, I don't know how many people are where they're from and everything else. I could work out those details. What are you guys talking about? Okay, pecan pie. Today is May 4th. May the force be with you. Love that. They all right. How's everything now? Is everything okay? And also, thanks, Geezer. Is everything okay again, or because I got a thing that says something's goofy with the connection? It's Squash Dog. Yeah. Well, they don't get, I don't know. They have extra. Do they have a post office in Squash Dog yet? I love a Brazil. What are you guys talking about? What are you doing for Cinco de Mayo? Oh, tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. Well, we got the Corona. We're all set. Um, MP Hoot. Hi, MP Hoot. How you doing, man? All right. Howdy from Texas. Bill, you should try and get per unit quotes for different purchase orders, maybe 5 pieces. Good idea, Howdy. I like that. I like that idea. Um, that's a good idea. I think I'll do it that way. Why don't I say 5, 8, and 10? How does that sound? Video is not so clear. Yeah, things are starting to blow up on me. Um, okay, well, we're about out of time anyway, so I think I'll sign off now because we've almost our time's almost up anyway. So I will proceed along those lines for you guys, okay? And I'll use Howdy's saying, okay, here are some different ones, and we could get a better idea that way. All right. Quotes are a good idea. Yeah, I think so too. Um, I risk a break. Okay. All right, you guys. Hasta mañana.